king of the king. Why do you think that even still now some people still don't believe, even among Christians, they don't believe the existence of their prophet amongst us? What do you think is responsible for this?
I think, you see, the question of the subject of faith, it's peculiar because the thin line between faith and foolishness, the line between faith and foolishness is very thin. So, because you can see a man walking in what looks like foolishness, but it's actually faith. Naaman in the Bible, the man of God said to him, go and wash in a river and your leprosy will go. And the man was like, me, a general in a river, please. Man of God, tell me. Man of God, please tell me to go and swim in a very beautiful river. Not that kind of river, dirty river. But in the end, he decided to obey and was cleansed. In the natural, that looked foolish. Somebody was blind. And Jesus took mud and spat on it. I mean, you want to open my eyes. Why you put it saliva on my face? Foolish. But the guy regained his sight. So there are things that are foolish, but may be faith. And likewise, there are certain things people project as faith that may be foolish. The issue of COVID-19. COVID-19 is a reality. Except somebody can explain those who have died of COVID-19, what killed them. So we have enough facts all over the world. There has never been such a plague, even when there was when there was war. America had not lost in a season 374,000 people. It's never happened before. And that loss was all over the world. We have our casualties in Nigeria as well. We have facts that there is something out there. Medically, they have said this is how we can curb it. I believe that the least every religious organization could do is to take precaution for the love of the people that we lead, the people that we minister to. Here in our own church, we have a signing tunnel. We go beyond the call of duty. You saw some of the protocol when you came in. You wouldn't access this place if you didn't have your mask. You have to sanitize your hand and what have you. We have signs on our premises. You don't hug, you don't shake hands while you are here. Observe social distancing. It's not because we are not people of faith, but rather because we are people of faith. Because faith without works is dead. If you say you have faith, show me your works. So it's because we have faith, that's why we do what we do. Because we understand that that is in existence. We've got to do what we have to do and let God do what he has to do. You can pray from now till kingdom come that you want a land to be developed into a building. Pray for 10 years, 20 years until you get the laborers to come in. And says that except the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain, those who build it. So for God to be able to build something, God himself needs laborers who are going to work in line with him. God needs laborers. So we need to understand that this is in existence. We cannot continue to pack people like sardines in our church services if we really love them. The pastor may have faith that COVID is not coming near him and his own family and what have you. But you don't know the faith of that person who just walked from the street, maybe not even born again yet, and said there is a church service going on there. Let me go and join them and hear what they have to say. That person doesn't have your level of faith. And that person could be bringing COVID-19 into that place and all of these things. So I think that we need to know what faith is and what foolishness is. In as much as foolish things that looks foolish may be faith. Things that looks like faith may also be foolish.
Again, you said the takeaway from COVID scenario is to really sober. In your own opinion, do you think churches are really doing enough in terms of showing love to the congregation as well as the government? What are the things you also think government should also do in the face of this COVID in terms of?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said initially.
You said love. Should be the takeaway from this COVID of it, because you know that some will go to the social media and say, I want to give 1,000 to 2 or 3 downtrodden, whatever. So, are you thinking that church are really doing enough, showing love to the congregation, especially this time around, and then government as well? Do you think they are equally doing enough of showing love?
Except I have an insight into the financial capacity of individual churches, I won't be able to answer that question because there is a lot of assumption that churches are wealthy. There's a lot of assumptions. And because one church is financially buoyant does not mean that all other churches are buoyant. All right? So I think that is important to clear. So to now say that, is this church doing enough? We need to check their books and see. However, if I may just get myself a little bit into trouble in the face of the clergy, I've always been of the opinion that there should be a law in this country that mandates every charity organization to be able to put back into their immediate community at least the same percentage a company will pay in corporation tax to the government. You see, when we have all these issues, are churches doing enough? Those questions, will be taken care of if there is a law. Because churches and other charity organizations are not to pay tax according to the Constitution. But there is a spirit behind it. Because it was assumed that charity organization is in the business 100% of doing charity with the resources. It's a non-profit organization, so to speak. So, the church of the whole built schools, built hospitals, St. Finbar's, St. Nicholas, St. Leo. That's what the church of whole did with their resources. built schools for the community, built hospital for the communities, did this and that. Of course, the government made a mistake. Took all those things away from them. And that's where the consciousness of that responsibility began to fade away. So by the time they are saying, oh, churches come and collect back your this, your that, those responsibilities, the churches are not used to that. So I think a good point to start is for the National Assembly to make it compulsory for every charity. If you're a charity organization, whether you're a church or whatever it is, if you have registered as a charity organization, whatever businesses are paying in taxation as corporation tax, you must put same. You must be able to show in your immediate community that you have put at least that much in that community. So, having gotten myself into that mess, which God will help me to clear, the response of the churches was fantastic during the pandemic. But don't forget that a church cannot solve all the problems. And in Nigeria, we have a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So, having said all, if the government cannot solve all the problems of Nigerians, why do we expect a little church with no matter how much you think they have to be able to solve the problem of Nigeria? So the reality of it is that church can only keep on trying to do what they can do. For us as a church, because we were locked down in the season, I myself as a pastor, I couldn't go out. I was locked down. We didn't know for how long we were going to be locked down. The only office, I myself as a pastor was locked down. The only office that was active was a government office, because all of us were locked down. We had to go out of our way to access the state government to say that since we are on lockdown, we still want to be part of what you are doing to help the communities. So we gave the state government some money. We gave the state government some money because we were on lockdown. We couldn't do anything. They were the one doing it. We were criticized for it, but we did the right thing because it's better to do that than do nothing. We were on lockdown. The church was closed down. The pastor was locked in his own house. I was preaching on the internet. That's what I was doing. Couldn't go out, as you know. Didn't have the privilege the press probably had at that time. You could go out. The pastor couldn't go out. You know, and I wish that in future they would think about that. Because the pastor is a significant part of the community, particularly in troublous times. You need somebody to minister to people. We needed to be there to tell people it's going to be all right. You know, but that's for another day. So we reached out as a church. Look, this is what we did, and I know a couple of churches did that as well. Fountain of Life did that. A lot of churches did that. Reach out to the government. And as soon as we were let out of our homes to be able to do something, we were in our community giving people food. Giving people food. This last Christmas, because you know, in this kind of economy, by the time you hold back a man's salaries or wages for 1 month, you will have gotten like a setback for like, effect of the setback will be like 3, 4, 5 months. For just taking a man's wages for 1 month. Emotional, financial, all manners of things. Panic in his house, borrowing at ridiculous cost and all of that. So we knew that even though people were able to go back to work, we had to help them, so we knew. So both in the church and in our community, we made sure as much as possible. In this community, we made sure that 2,000 homes had rice to eat on Christmas Day. They didn't come to us. We went to them. We picked 50 homes, or rather 50 houses on 40 streets. 40 houses on 50 streets. So we are marked 50 streets in our community here, and on every street we picked 40 houses and we gave rice. The Sunday before Christmas, our members who couldn't, we asked them, if you know that you're not able to put food on your table for your family on Christmas Day, give them hampers, give them rice, we gave them live chicken to be able to slaughter and fry and at least have what we can call a Merry Christmas. We can't boast in this because we also know that there is still much more to be done. Much more that can be done. But we can only try. We can only try to do as much as we can. There will be room for improvement. So it's good for us to be challenged. But I think structurally, there has to be something that forces people. You see a lot of people in some churches. Ask any pastor or go and do your own research. Or even not only in church, in any societal gathering, you will find out that it's only about 5% that's financially sustained the whole group. If you have a social club, it's not everybody in the club that donates. They may all give subscription, but when it's time to do things, it's the same set of people that keep on saying, okay, I'll take care of that, okay, I'll do that. That's what it's like in the church as well. So you can see a lot of people. They all depend on 5% who are generous givers in the church. And it is on what they give that you provide what the rest of the 95% are enjoying in that congregation. So that's why the assumption that there's a lot of money or disposable money in the church because of the number of people who come in there is not what it is.
Please tell us about KICC. How does it? I know there's KICC London. When we came in, you said KICC Maryland. Does it mean you have churches across the country or just Lagos?
KICC is an international church. In fact, the full meaning of KICC is Kingsway International Christian Center. When God gave Pastor Matthew the vision, it was supposed to be an international church. International in every ramification of it, in the way of our worship, in the mode of our worship. In other words, wherever you may come from, when you come into any of our churches, you must be able to feel the warmth and you must have a sense of belonging. So KICC is not supposed to be a Yoruba church because Pastor Matthew is Yoruba. It's not supposed to be an Hausa church because Pastor Matthew was born in Hausa, in Zaria, and it's not supposed to be an Igbo church because Pastor Matthew speaks a bit of Igbo here and there. It's an international church. So when you go to our church in England, it's not an African church; it's an international church. Our CEO is a British white guy, So that is the kind of a structure we have. KICC is also global. We have KICC, of course, the headquarters is in United Kingdom. We have KICC here in Nigeria, we have in Canada, we have KICC in Ghana, we have KICC in Malawi, in Zimbabwe, we have KICC in Democratic Republic of Congo, we have in Lomé right there. So we have KICC pretty much in South Africa. Okay. We have KICC all around. So, and it's still the same one KICC. And Pastor Matthew, of course, is the global president of KICC. So he is the is KICC's senior pastor worldwide. But KICC Nigeria now is a KICC that is responsible for the work of KICC Global here in Nigeria. And I have the privilege of superintending over the work over here. So we have branches, even in Lagos. We have KICC in Lekki, we have KICC in Ojo, we have KICC in Festac, we have in Idimu, we have in Ikorodu as we speak. We have KICC in Abeokuta, we have KICC in Abuja, we have KICC in Kauru, a part of Abuja. We have KICC now just started in Ekiti. We have KICC in Port Harcourt. We have about 3 in Port Harcourt. We have in Port Harcourt, Eliozu, we have in Rumogba, we have in a place called GRA. We are starting by Easter KICC in Uyo. We have KICC in Akure, we have KICC in Warri, we have KICC in Asaba. We are trying to propagate the gospel, and spread. And the vision God has given Pastor Matthew is for Pastor Matthew, to from the headquarters and then plant in nations, and then in that nation, the work in that nation spread around that nation, the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. So that is why KICC in Maryland is just here, but it's also the national head office of KICC Nigeria.